What's up, guys? Ghost Castle here with OFIDYAN to talk about the level viability for the practice stages, assuming items and map hazards are turned off.
First up, we have Practice Small 1. It's essentially the rival stage. It's almost the exact same amount of square units wide, which is about 16.
Yeah, the only difference really is at the top of rivals, there's a little bit of an invisible wall, but this is, I mean, other than that, this is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Not very viable. Practice Small 2. Same as Practice Small 1, just 2 platforms thrown in there. Not particularly awful, but the placement of the platforms doesn't really do much for either combo heavy people or range people because it's so small. So I don't really see the necessity of this, other than that it's another small stage, and there aren't many small stages in this game.
Yeah, there's mostly medium, so that makes this level even less important because, yeah, it may be flat and good for Radic, but there's so many other medium stages in the game that are actually a little bit more balanced because if Radic does shoot you away, then you just have to start your journey again trying to come back to him.
Yeah, and adding platforms to medium stage 2 isn't really bad. I actually kind of like this one. I like the general layout. It's kind of like Hades in that it has the pits on the side, but you know, really, again, not too much here. I'd say of all the stages, maybe this or Practice Small 2 are my favorites.
Large, it's the same thing as medium. You know, it's just even further apart.
Yeah.
I really don't see how it's viable.
Yeah, I feel like this is a zoner's, you know, dream here, and it would definitely be awful if you don't have any kind of mobility moves as a combo heavy close range fighter.
If you're a zoner that can get away, it's awesome. And this is just a complete problem. It's a mess. I mean, for certain characters, it glitches things up. I'll just give the Paraba example. He can do a boombox that generates AP, and if he does it slightly in between platforms, it glitches and drops thousands of AP orbs. So
yeah, to me, it looks just like a worse version of Paris. You know, has a solid wall on the right side of the map, but there's also just a bunch of platforms thrown about.
Yeah, it just looks like a mess. It looks like a nightmare for even the artist. Like,
yeah, and that's my whole issue with most of the practice stages, is that with so much intellectual property and so many different games to pull resources from for stage ideas and stuff, and with such a variety already of existing stages that are very artistic, why would you want your epic fights to happen on like a plain gray or purple background? I just don't see the appeal in that from an aesthetic point of view. And I mean, there's also issues with it being selected in the random, right?
To me, the biggest problem is the fact that none of the practice stages, so that's none of page 2, can be selected by picking random when you first start. And in a tournament setting, random is normally how you play the first match.
Right.
You play the first stage random, and then after that, loser picks. And if you can't go to page 2 and play on any of the practice stage randomly, then there's really no point in using them.
Right. Yeah, I guess it kind of makes it unfair because whoever, you know, they both don't really have the opportunity to play on any of the practice stages for the first match, and if someone's like, all right, I'm going to counter pick with that, I don't know,
the practice stages are just that. They're practice stages. They're not really meant to be played. I know a lot of people liked playing on Practice Small 1 whenever the game first came out, but now since they've given us Rival, it doesn't really have a place anymore.
Yeah, definitely. I would have said back before that happened that Small 1 was necessary almost, especially because before that we didn't have Fearless either. So we had Dojo was the small level. That was it. You know, Practice Small 1, definitely a viable choice at that point. But now we have Fearless and we have Rival and Dojo as well. So really no, you know, just more of the same.
Yeah.
A medium, definitely no way. Maybe medium 2, but you know, there's so many things like it, just slightly different. I don't think that its inclusion is worth, you know, opening Pandora's box for all the practice stages to be allowed in.
Definitely not. If you guys have any other opinions or have a reason why the practice stages are viable and you have some stuff that you should let us know, I mean, just comment or send us a message. We're open to anything.
Yeah, definitely. We would love to learn more about it if you guys have differing opinions. Thanks for watching All Stars Arena HD. I'm Ghost Castle.
I'm OFIDYAN.
See you later with more videos.